Alright, so we're going to go over a big mama toss. So a big mama toss, I'm not really sure why it's called that, but it's what we call it. Maybe you have a different name for it. Maybe it's just something very new to you. But either way, that's what we're going to do. So with that, this is going to feel somewhat similar to a yo-yo toss. It will spin in a very similar plane where you're going to be up really high, have a really nice big full out prep. So it's going to feel similar in that regard, and the major difference is that it's basically mirrored. So instead of rotating counterclockwise like you would with a yo-yo, for your big mama, you're going to rotate clockwise. So I'm going to start in a right slant position. I'm going to have my feet in a nice wide second. This is a really good place to start for helping ground your body and helping control this toss since it's so big. So if I'm here, I'm just going to pop up. And when I pop up on count 1, I'm going to have my thumb down, flipping this to an inverted grip. So I've got that palm out, and it's just going to weave behind the pole here. So that's my count 1. And then like I said, we're rotating this clockwise. So I'm going to come down. And when I come down, I'm going to make sure, just like with that yo-yo, how you did similarly with that, I'm going to make sure I'm lifting my arms here so that the top butt is not hitting the ground. So make sure you're doing that. I promise no matter how short you are, you can absolutely do this. You just have to think about what your shoulders and what your arms are doing. So that is count 2. With this one, I'm letting it come down. And I'm basically thumbs up at the butt now with that left hand. So really lifting those arms so that they're staying lifted off of the ground. And then as I go into my count 3, I'm going to crank within my elbow here. So to do this, you really have to think about opening up your arms as much as possible. So you have a lot of space here. So if I'm up 1, down 2, up 3, I'm really thinking about pulling forward with my hands. And that will allow the end of the pole here to crank within that elbow. So I'm cranking in. And you want to really think about opening up those shoulders too. You don't want to end up in a situation where you're doing like a really angled prep, because then it's not going to release where you want it to, and it's probably going to hit yourself or somebody else. So you really want to avoid that. So we're going up 1, down 2, up 3. Alright, so from here, you're going to do one more crank, and that's going to then go into your release. You could crank this over and over again if you wanted to get more momentum. You just want to be careful with doing that too much, because otherwise your silk is going to start to wrap up on you. So if I'm going 1, down 2, up 3, I'm going to then go down. And then when I come up, I'm thinking up, I'm cranking within that elbow one last time. And on my up, I'm coming up and pulling out to the sides with both of my arms at the same time. So that's a really fast motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 4, and I'm really squeezing and then pulling apart nice and fast. It'll do one really nice big rotation for you up in the air. So something really, really important to keep in mind with your big mama toss is your left hand. So this needs to stay really nice and loose on the bottom butt here. So when you come up and you come up into this position, you can flip your hand here if you want, or you can flip it down when you go into this first position. So I'm starting to, or my first checkpoint, so I'm going to let this just kind of like rotate over the end of the butt and then flip it so that my hand is like in this thumbs up position basically. And that's kind of the motion it's going to make as it goes through that prep. So if I'm coming here and I'm flipping, as I go into that, I'm going to rotate here. And then as I come up, I'm keeping a firm grip on this, and it will be at a thumbs down position when I'm straight up and down. And then I'm going to have to loosen that grip again as I go down. So I'm really going to like kind of loosen my fingers. And I'm really just pinching a tiny bit here within my thumb, and I'm letting it come down, and then I'm re-grabbing. So I'm giving a nice firm squeeze here when it's at the butt again, so it's thumbs up there, and then loosening that grip as I'm about to go into this release. You don't have to loosen too much as you're cranking, but just keep in mind that if you try to like keep your wrist really strong on that, it's not going to be able to rotate the way that you need it to within your elbow. So you're usually going to catch this straight up and down in front of you. You're going to catch with your right hand, thumbs up, at, you're going to catch it like your hidden tape here, or you could open this up a little bit more and catch at mid-silk. And then your left hand, you're just going to catch thumbs up at tab. So boxed out arms, really nice and big, and pulled away from you there. So when it relieves your left hand, you need to think about kind of this really quick flip of your wrist. So it's going to go down and out at the same time. So as you're pulling that right hand apart, your left hand is doing a lot of the work. So down and quick out. So think about that as you're going into your Big Mama. All right, so from the front, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to show you the back view of that toss. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that is your Big Mama toss. Definitely a good one for practicing strength and making a really nice big open toss. So there you have it.